there's definitely an overarching sort of concern about globalization per se, which I think we must admit now is sort of waning off to some extent. And the question is therefore how it will be managed. Will it be a sort of a bit of a moderation and not too bad, or are we actually heading into something even towards trade war, for example?
What is the risk? Because before the campaign really got into full swing, the market, I guess, got the assumption that, well, Trump was quite close to Russia since he's been elected, and you've seen some policy steps that he's taken. Relations with Russia don't look all that great, and China, that was seen as perhaps the enemy of the United States, relations with that country look much better. So do we need to shift our psychology around the key risks for the Americans?
So in my opinion, the US administration is risk number one in this respect. And what is somewhat comforting is that the two fractions inside the White House or the administration, as far as we learn, is that the sort of the globalist, the Gary Cohns of the world and Kushner, are winning, and that's good news. And so you see the moderation towards China and some of the other trade issues. So I'm hopeful right now. So the risk is, of course, that reverses again, because Trump seems to like the last guy best. I mean, he has no opinion apparently, or has no logic thinking as far as I can judge on this. So if he were to switch back and go down the protectionist road, risk number one. Risk number two is how would China or Europe react to sort of protectionist measures? Hopefully being the adult in the room and not doing anything crazy for a while. But that's the risk as far as I can see.
I think a lot of commentators highlight trade as still a huge part of Trump's measures and what he's trying to enact, yet we have not seen a huge amount just yet.
No.
When does it start to come through, and when does it move the needle for investors?
Well, I don't know. You're absolutely right. Trade is the number one risk. I mean, you can think what you want about deregulation or other things in America, which has good and bad sides to it. But trade is, without any doubt, important. And if you do protectionism, whatever their trade secretary says, it's bad for growth. So this is really important. But it is moving. Hopefully, he's leveling off some of those risks that we saw. And remember, we talk about the global recovery from the IMF that they project and we see now. It's driven very much by a pickup in global trade. Like global trade since 2012 have been growing less than global GDP, and it should usually grow by 1 to 1.5% times faster than global GDP. Now it's picking up nicely over the last 2-3 quarters. So it'd be a real disaster if we went down the protectionist road, because it will kill that one part of the global recovery that is quite important right now.